Good evening and welcome to The Buck Stops Here. A week since the killing of an innocent young man in Pune after clashes triggered by posts on Facebook that he had nothing to do with, 17 men from a radical group called the Hindu Rashtra Sena have been arrested, but its founder, a man called Dhananjay Desai, is free in spite of being what the police call a history sheeter. He's been charged in the past with extortion under the Arms Act and for causing communal disharmony. Now, this is not the first time images on social media have inflamed passions, and caught in the middle are almost always innocent victims who are neither responsible for the offensive content nor support it in all probability. While law and order is a state subject and the state will have to respond to the lapses, many questions are being raised about whether the centre should formulate a stronger response to the Pune incident in order to send out a message of unity. Well, let's just give you a sense of what this group is all about. The Hindu Rashtra Sena, 17 men from this group have been arrested and are facing charges of the murder of Mohsin Sheikh, the young boy who was killed, beaten by a mob on his way home from namaz because he looked and was a Muslim. He had nothing to do with the content on Facebook, ostensibly offensive images that were derogatory to Chhatrapati Shivaji and to the Shiv Sena chief Bal Thackeray. Now, the Hindu Rashtra Sena is a group that was reportedly formed after the 1992 Mumbai riots by Dhananjay Desai, who is now 34. He founded this group when he was 14 years old. He's been named, as we said, in 23 criminal cases. He's also been questioned in connection with the killing of Narendra Dhabholkar, the rationalist in Pune, who was murdered some months ago. He openly backed the Malegaon blast accused as well, Sadhvi Pragya and Lieutenant Colonel Purohit. So that's the detail on the Hindu Rashtra Sena chief Dhananjay Desai. But let's get all our panelists in now on this debate. From Mumbai, we are being joined by Rahul Narvekar of the NCP and also by Prem Shukla, the executive editor of the Dopaher Ka Samna newspaper. In Delhi, we have Pinky Anand for the BJP, and we have Bina Lakshmi Nepram in the studio with us, who's an activist for rights as well and minority groups. KTS Tulsi, the senior advocate, joining us from the Supreme Court as well. And from Karnataka, we have Brijesh Kalappa, the national spokesperson for the Congress party as well. I'm going to go to Rahul Narvekar on this first because we are going to try and get Rahul Narvekar up with us in just a couple of minutes and ask him why the state hasn't responded. But Pinky Anand, perhaps let me take the question to you first. What we're, I think, looking for now is a way to quell the kind of tension we've seen in parts of Maharashtra over these images. Do you think that perhaps there should be a strong message from the centre, from the government at the centre as well, to these groups, maybe a threat of a ban? What can the centre do?
Maya, I think when unfortunate incidents happen, one doesn't really, it will not be possible to every time consider this aspect of sending a message in that respect. Of course, it is unfortunate what has happened and there is no question about that. But if at every time the centre is going to send out a statement as a government is, I think that may be looking too much into the issues, because you are having incidents, you are having rape incidents happening in UP, you are having other incidents happening in other parts of the country. So it's not a question of sending out a message whenever any episode happens, which is of course with disastrous situations. So law is taking its course. By all means, every action is being taken. You have yourself just now just stated 17 people are arrested, and obviously the trials will take place in accordance with law. So I mean, what else is really required in this sense of constant burden which is being put as if there must be a response by the government as an official statement? It is something unfortunate, and that is of course something
Pinky
which we are
Anand,
taking into
I'll just ask you a follow-up on that, in fact, because you were on our debate a few nights ago as well on the UP rapes, and you've just mentioned those. There was also a demand from activists there that perhaps the Prime Minister, who is now somebody who is accessible to the public, accessible to his electorate, known to be vocal, making statements on various things, should perhaps also send out a message on issues like this that impact ordinary citizens every day, giving them a sense of that contact with the new government.
When you talk about it, Maya, as I said, you are going to have, unfortunately, in any country, and particularly in India, where there are so many incidents happening on various scores, whichever levels they are, there are going to be issues and issues and issues. Now, if it cannot be a part of a government policy to necessarily send out a message every time. The government is supposed to act, and the government is in a position to act, and the government should be responsive. That is the primary aspect which one requires of a government, not message to be passed, but work to be done. That is the essential issue.
Right, okay. Beena Lakshmi Nepram is shaking her head vigorously in the studio next to me. Go ahead.
Yeah. See, for us, for citizens like us, government is like second set of parents. And if a crime is a crime, whoever commits it, this is a crime and has to be condemned by the government, and the government has to take, it shows the failure of the governance structure, both right now in Maharashtra or Pune, where the murder has taken place. It shows that the depth of this technique has been, and this is very sensitive time now, yes, we're at the throes of a time when we have a new prime minister and the whole country is looking towards a good governance structure in spite of whatever past has happened.
Right.
But for us, this was a mob murder. The central government as well as the state, they have to condemn this. A crime is a crime, and those who have committed the murder has to be brought to
and I think just to take that forward as well, I know while there will be unfortunate incidents all over the country, we are now talking about this evening. In fact, Rajnath Singh, the Home Minister, has deputed his Minister of State to go to Assam to attend the funeral of a police officer killed in a gun battle. So this sense that while they're doing it perhaps for the police, again the citizen over here who is not getting that kind of attention. But KTS Tulsi, let me also take this to you and expand this a little further. What we've seen happen in Pune is not just, it is perhaps an incident where there was a minority, a member of a minority who was targeted by members of this group, and 17 people, as Pinky Anand was also confirmed, have been arrested. But the question really is, when offensive content is posted on the internet, the person who has posted the content and the person who's actually having to pay the price for it are two very different people, and there's a lot of time that lapses between when the police or law enforcement can actually take action against those who posted that content. So how do you safeguard the people in that interim?
You see, firstly, I want to respond to what Pinky Anand said, that every time the central government or the Prime Minister is not expected to intervene when such grievous, gruesome offences are committed. But I want to say that this is not every time. The government has just come into being, and the government must tell the country, reassure the people, particularly the poor, the deprived, the minorities, reassure them that their safety is the prime concern for this government. Now that's very essential because the series of incidents that have happened, the BJP leaders and spokesmen themselves have been very vocal against the state governments where these kind of offences did take place. Why would the Prime Minister not consider it important that he must, his statement would give a sense of confidence and security to the poor, the deprived and the minorities. So it's important for them, and also the police must realize that their prime duty is to protect the poor, the deprived, the powerless, because they are more often than not going to be the targets of violence. So therefore every SHO, every superintendent of police must realize that they must identify the pockets of the weak people and strengthen their presence in those areas, because in the future also they are the ones going to be the targets of attack.
Right.
So the police needs to realize that they have a responsibility to protect these people.
Okay, Pinky Anand, I want you to respond to that and also take it forward a little bit, because here we're talking very specifically on the question of minorities. But I think what we've also seen in the past couple of weeks is generally the space for dissent as well. Now, we've reported about students who've been detained for posting messages against the Prime Minister on Facebook or on WhatsApp, things like that. Those are surely not things that a democratic Prime Minister would condone.
No, I don't think there's any question of condonation of anything that the Prime Minister is getting into by your statements or anybody else's. But really, as I said, the ultimate test of a government is possibly sometimes to give messages down the line. But I don't like the manner in which this is being diverted on to say it is the poor and the deprived and therefore there should be a message. When there is violence, there should be action taken.
Absolutely.
One is unequivocal about that, and more so, yes, when there are the deprived lot. But ultimately, please, the law and order is a state subject, and every time if you think that these, the centre cannot intervene right away because issues have to be looked into. That is the difference between governance and non-governance. So if you really want action, what is required is constructive action, and not messages to be sent down. Particularly when the law is taking its course, there are inquiry committees which are done. For example, SIT has been set up for UP.
Right, okay, we're going to ask actually...
wait for that report to come in.
Okay, Rahul Narvikar is with us right now, so we're going to ask actually what action the state government in Maharashtra is taking. The 17 arrests have been made, but the questions around this gentleman, Dhananjay Desai, if I can call him a gentleman, given the kind of stuff he's been speaking. Now, why have you not been able to arrest this man, Mr. Narvikar?
Well, before I answer your question, I must give you a background of this entire incident. Number one, immense tension and stress was there prevailing in the state of Maharashtra and almost every district after these objectionable and most uncalled for pictures were circulated on social media. Having said that, the Maharashtra police has done an exceptionally good job in keeping the situation under control, and this has been applauded across the board. Having said that, the point in question today, the Pune incident, it needs to be condemned by one and all, and it has been done in the past as well. Our party, our government, both have condemned this. The Pune police have made necessary address.
Mr.
There is an investigation
Supriya
underway.
Sule has gone on record calling this a social situation, a social tension. It's a social problem, very unfortunate. This is what Supriya Sule has said.
Statement, of course it is, but what's wrong with that? It is a problem. It's a problem in our society of intolerance. It's a problem in our society of religious intolerance, ethnic intolerance. You've seen that in Delhi as well.
Okay,
on
so
the streets of Delhi,
yes,
how inhumanely a northeast student from the northeast was killed. So this is a problem which is germane to the entire Indian society. We need to learn to live in harmony. We need to learn to respect each other's religion. We need to learn to respect each other's culture. And because that's not happening, it's a social problem. So I don't think there is any fault or anything wrong in what Ms. Sule has said. Now coming back to your question with regards to the Pune incident, police is investigating the matter. The state government has given absolutely strict directives to the Pune police that no one should be spared. There has to be a strict investigation. Whoever is under suspect, whoever is guilty will be booked and tried and taken to task if found guilty. Number two, I heard the Bharatiya Janata Party some time back on many other channels taking a grandstanding about having religious harmony and how they have condemned the episode. But I must tell the Bharatiya Janata Party that their local member of parliament, Mr. Anil Shirole, yesterday has come out to make a ghastly, disgusting statement that these kind of incidents will have these kind of reactions. What kind of a message is the ruling government, the local MP of Bharatiya Janata Party from that Pune city, giving to the people at large?
That's a fair point,
Why has
Pinky
Mr. Modi
Anand
not come
he
down
did
strong
say he was,
on his own member of parliament?
He wanted to retract that statement, but he had made it. He did retract that statement, but he had made it. We have the retraction as well. But Pinky Anand, that was a disturbing statement from a BJP MP as well.
No. You may say so, but look, at the same time, if somebody has made a statement and he does withdraw it, which is all a matter of record,
right?
Then possibly we should not put too much at what he had said.
It's not somebody; it's a member of parliament of your party.
No, member of parliament. Please, member of parliament is a person who has made a statement, who has withdrawn it. Now, if in view of that you still want to discuss ad nauseum about the statement that
he sits with Mr. Modi in the parliament, in the same house.
when he withdraws it, what else do you want to do with it? He says something has been withdrawn. You have to take it at that. Maybe some statements are made which are out of place. If they are withdrawn publicly, I think that is enough message to be passed out. Or do you want some punishment to be launched against him for making that statement, which he retracts?
Okay,
he says
fine.
he retracted it, he makes a public statement.
All right.
See, that should end the issue.
Okay, all right.
The point we are making, is when you take a grandstanding, when you take a moral high ground, you need to act accordingly.
Okay, Mr. Narvekar, but the question,
I think you've let sometimes keeping dogs lie.
And Rahul Narvekar, I think we've got what both of you are trying to say. Let's just widen this a little bit, because we are trying to go beyond just this incident as well. We are looking at the fact that these posts come in the social media. There isn't a policing, there isn't any control on the social media.
You're right.
But A, that's part of the problem. B, and I want to take this to the Samna editor as well, who's joining us from Mumbai. I would like to ask you, sir, what constitutes offensive? I mean, we are in a democracy. There's got to be space for all kinds of opinion, all kinds of views. Some may not like what somebody else has to say. Where does it cross the line in being offensive that provokes these kinds of reactions? And why isn't there an unequivocal sort of condemnation of this from smaller parties and groups like this who have a particular ideology?
No, this incident is unfortunate. But you can't just by a single incident. In this incident, a murder has happened and I think 17 people are booked and they are behind the bars. And at the same time, no one is asking to the government why they are not taking any action in the Azad Maidan incident. Thousands of mob ransacked the Azad Maidan premises and killed one constable.
That is also
there is a case registered. No, just listen me.
Yeah.
A case registered under IPC 302, and the party chief Sharad Pawar, NCP chief, who has gotten the home portfolio which party has gotten, he is meeting the accused of that case, Moin Mia, and he is issuing fatwas in favor of NCP and Congress in the elections.
Yes, and
no one is asking any question to the Home Minister.
And it's an important point that you raised on.
It is very because
yes, and it's an important point you raised on the Azad Maidan incident as well.
In one case, if there is any incident, if there is any evidence against Mr. Dhananjay Desai, we will call that he should be arrested. But if there is no evidence, you should not arrest him. But there are evidences against Mr. Moin Mia. But they are not making arrest of Mr. Moin Mia.
All right, we get the point.
Accomplices.
Mr. Shukla, we get the point. In fact, you've raised the Azad Maidan point. That's also very important, because as we're talking about the social media, we do know that there were 60 lakh hits on the web page with provocative video clippings of the killings in Assam that led to what we saw unfold in Azad Maidan. The Congress has been waiting to speak from Bangalore. Mr. Kalapa, come in on this.
I'd only like to make a point, Maya, that you see there are these several repeat incidents after the 16th of May. In the very first case, there was a masjid which was attacked in Vitla in Karnataka. Then thereafter, there was another masjid which was attacked in Hyderabad, which was the Masjid Momin Chowdhury. Now, today we have the issue of a young techie who was killed, who was bludgeoned to death in Pune. Now, the Prime Minister is a gentleman who makes tweets regularly, and he tweets on all mundane issues. He has also tweeted about the particular sari. But I wonder if he's been tweeting on all these issues, why he doesn't consider it fit to respond to a series of incidents which have begun, which have essentially begun soon after he
Home Minister has already asked for the reports. Rajnath Singh has asked for the reports to the various governments. You don't feel that this is action from the central government?
No, I'm sorry, I don't know who is responding.
There was an issue of Danish cartoonist.
Okay, all right, let's get Nihal opinion from in on this.
And Dr. Manmohan Singh.
Okay, Mr. Kalapa and Mr. Shukla.
Never asked Dr. Manmohan Singh why you are not issuing any statement.
Okay, Mr. Kalapa and Mr. Shukla.
Violence in the country on the issue of Danish cartoonists. There was reaction in India. Danish cartoonists were nowhere connected with Indian people.
After the 16th of May, it is no secret, it is no state secret that the
All right,
minorities
Mr.
are being
Kalappa
treated.
and
And
Mr.
let me
Shukla,
tell
you
you,
both
Mr.
made your
Mr.
points.
Modi went
Veena
on
Lakshmi,
to
you want to
say
come in on
that
this?
his
Yeah,
base
yeah.
commitment is
All right,
His
one
base
moment, sir.
commitment
One
is
moment, Mr.
And when he
Kalappa,
has
Mr.
said
Shukla.
this, the first thing
Okay.
will be for him to say,
You
if
just
he wants to
want to
protect the
defend Mr.
greatness of
Modi,
India,
that is
to
the only
make the
target.
minorities
No,
feel
Mr. Shukla,
comfortable,
I think
to make
Then
the minorities
some
feel
people
reassured
that
in India.
have the same,
This is his first job.
mindset,
Okay,
like
Mr.
you,
Shukla
let
and
me just
mock the,
yeah,
parties,
let
and
Veena
that's
Lakshmi
also
Nepram come in on
social
this,
media.
Mr. Shukla, and then we'll
Okay,
take it
let's-
back to
let's-
Ms. Anand
let's-
as well.
let's just-
Veena Lakshmi, come in, yeah.
Let's just calm down and sit. When I heard about Mohsin's death and how he's actually beaten to death with iron rods, it reminded the way in which this young 19-year-old boy from Arunachal died this year. That happened under a Congress government,
Yeah.
and this one has happened under a BJP government. For citizens like us who are neutral, for us, we want safety. We want, if these killers are punished, this is a case, there is, as I mentioned also, there's a case of rising xenophobia in this country. And it is much more hard-lined by the way that people feel that the BJP wants a Hindutva country.
Okay.
So there is a fear psychosis going on.
Okay,
and
let's
the
take
government
that to
has
Mr.
address
Tulsi as
that.
well. Let's take
Has
that.
to really address
Let's
that.
take that to
Yeah.
KTS Tulsi as well. What essentially Veena Lakshmi is kind of echoing what you're saying. The fact that there are various interest groups, minority, majority, religious, ethnic, what have you, but there is a culture of xenophobia that is beginning to worry, and it's also something which, because the internet is such a free space, it's spewing venom on a daily basis, minute by minute.
That's true. If the Prime Minister really meant what he said during the elections, that he is going, it is all 1.25 billion people are going to be his responsibility. Now that was said at that time. When specific instances have happened, he needs to demonstrate his will and calm the nerves of people who are scared, who are running scared. And the incidents are happening across the length and breadth of the country. Is there some kind of a license they think they have got? So the Prime Minister needs to set at rest certain fear psychosis that is gripping these people who are powerless, who cannot fight the vested interests or the majority. So
Okay,
therefore,
all right.
it is important that
Let's get Pinky Anand
some
back
steps
in
are
on this.
taken.
Ms. Anand, I think the point is not the specific incidents, not the one-offs of violent crime that we're talking about, but a larger sentiment that perhaps needs quelling, and we're looking to the Prime Minister to also sort of ease these tensions. This is what Veena Lakshmi is saying.
I think the answers are twofold. I think with all these kind of issues happening, the one aspect that relates to social media, I think even as lawyers, we need to look at this entire issue to see how much that can really invade and carry on these kind of negative activities, or should it be negative activities. That is something which needs to be considered on a larger scale to try to bring some order into this highly unregulated medium which is the social media. That's
Right.
one aspect of it. Secondly, as far as issues are concerned, when, let us say for example, Rajnath ji, who's the Home Minister, has asked for a report on a subject, I think that is the most appropriate situation to do. If you say that every time, as I said
why doesn't
earlier,
the Prime
if you
Minister
have an
make a
incident
statement,
happen,
madam?
please, just a minute. If at every stage you are going to have the, let us say the Home Minister is not sufficient for you, you need that Mr. Modi should make a statement. I think that's rather unfair and uncalled for. You have the Home Minister looking into the situation.
No, but he
you have
can
an
make,
SIT which is formed.
he can make statements
Let
on
us not
some
have this
sorry,
dialogue,
present
please.
it to him.
Let
He
us
can't make a statement on this subject.
He needs
Let
to
us
have
not
got an agenda to
keep
single out
interjecting
Mr.
with
Modi,
each
na?
other and carrying
So
on
they
this
will not be
conversation.
satisfied.
I am saying you only want, the only idea being, you are saying that Mr. Modi should do it when you have the Home Minister addressing the issue, when you have special investigating teams, when you have the law
He
taking
needs
its
to set the
process,
tone.
and duly so. Nobody can say, Mr. Tulsi, maybe you can wait for another minute. If you have
No,
the
but
law
he's-
taking
he's
its course,
engaging everybody
I don't
on a
think-
regular basis,
I don't
madam.
think there is any
He's
issue.
on
What
Twitter
do
all the
you
time.
want? What do you
Why
want
doesn't
from a
he speak on
responsible
this
government
subject?
for action to be taken? For action
Okay.
to be taken or to
Pinky
respond to your
Anand,
interjections
as a
only.
follow-up to that, are you concerned as a leader of the BJP that there are all these fringe elements out there who are feeling a little emboldened by the way this Lok Sabha verdict went, and the BJP itself is
I think,
going to
Maya,
have
this
to
is a very
work out a
distorted
strategy?
question.
You are rushing for conclusions.
Maya, I think it's a very distorted version, a question that the way you are asking it. When incidents of violence happen, if you are going to twist them around and say they are all these fringe elements who are emboldened by the BJP, I think that's an unfair question and totally, in its own way, it's a divisive question. Incidents of violence happen, they are condemnable, that is for sure, and action should be taken universally across board.
So what can we do in a bipartisan way? If that's the case, what can we do in a bipartisan way right now? I'm going to take that to the Congress as well. Because there are enough minority groups
Maya,
that feel the same way as far as the Congress is concerned.
No, I agree, Maya. But see, presently the Prime Minister has made a public statement. He says, "Is desh ko mitne nahi dunga." What is India? India is a great nation. Why is it great? It's great because it takes care of the minorities, it takes care of the handicapped, it takes care of the aged, it takes care of the children, it takes care of animals. This is why it's great. This is how the greatness of a nation is measured. And now if the Prime Minister doesn't deem it fit to speak on this issue, I think it's very bad on his part. I think he has to really speak to a particular group which is responsible for such violence, to tell them to abjure violence in the first case, and the second part is that he should tell the law enforcement agencies to come strictly down on these people who act violently.
Mr. Kalappa, we get your point. Rahul Narvekar, respond.
Sorry, I couldn't hear that. Can you repeat it, please?
I think the question is really, how does one come back in a bipartisan way? Because this is not about a blame game of one party versus the other. It is about fringe groups who benefit from the ideologies they feel they can relate to, whether it's the BJP or the Congress. It's not about one versus the other. How do you all come together and work to control these groups who are actually wreaking havoc and pushing this kind of xenophobia that Beena Lakshmi is concerned about?
Well, it's a very, very concerning issue, and I'm glad that we're discussing this very relevant issue. To start with, I would say we should stop giving color to violence. I just heard Mr. Prem Shukla talking about the Azad Maidan incident, trying to give it again a communal color. What happened at Azad Maidan was wrong. What happened in Pune is wrong as well. Both are equally ghastly and disgusting. But Mr. Shukla should realize that we, as public representatives or politicians, or to some extent many of our elected leaders are role models. If we start doing this, what examples are we setting in the society?
So ask Mr. Arapati to take action. That is what I...
politicizing of violence. Number one. Number two.
Yeah. Go ahead,
Mr.
Narvekar, finish your point.
Number two, when a particular government takes action, we should give it some breathing time. We should give the investigating agencies some breathing point. And not make further comments which will further instigate the people. And that is what is exactly happening in the state of Maharashtra.
Okay, Beena Lakshmi Nepram, come in on this. All right, Mr. Narvekar, we got your point.
The police is not sitting idle.
Okay.
The police is doing its job.
Okay.
Let me place certain things on record. India is still a nation on the making. We are just a 60-plus-year-old republic. We have still a lot of work to do. Today I was looking up into what constitutes minorities in India. Only 6 set of communities with religion are said to be minorities. I don't even belong to that set of minority. The government has set up the National Minority Commission in 1992. There is a certain thing to look into this issue, as I said, so there will be still those elements. Now, we as a minority group from the Northeast, this time what had been asked for the government was to set up a national, looking at an anti-racial discrimination law. It is not only for the people of Northeast, but it will stop majoritarian politics being played in our country. There is a fact
and
that
I think
minority population, ethnic groups
I think Pinky Anand, that's a very valid point
Beena
is talking about. It's not just about religious minorities, but you're looking at all kinds of hierarchical structures, and how do you tackle those? It's not about just communalism based on one religion versus the other.
I'm glad that we have shifted the focus away from saying that when there is violence on any people or any group, I mean, that is condemnable, should be tackled at that level. So the question of saying, a issue should be addressed because it is possibly a minority issue, or X minority is feeling estranged, that I don't think is the way a nation should be addressed. A nation has to be addressed as a wholesome, and to address the problem of law and order wherever it is, in whichever fashion there is. And thirdly, not to have a knee-jerk reaction. If something happens, the government, as a responsible government, is supposed to look into the incident and wait for some of the reports to come in, rather than to take preemptive action. When the police is taking action at its level, if the police was not taking, I can still understand. But you have, for example, in the Pune incident, 17 people who've been arrested. But nonetheless, it is baying for blood. It has to stop.
Okay, Mr. Kalappa, I can see you want to come in on that. Go ahead.
Yeah, you see, you have the minority affairs minister who's saying that no, Muslims are not minority today. He says that no, the Sikhs are not minorities. It's only the Parsis which are minorities. This is Najma Heptullah's statement.
I think, to be fair, you're quoting her out of context, Mr. Kalappa. Even I'll correct you on that. You were quoting her out of context. She did not say that. She said the Muslims are not as much of a minority as some others.
What I'm trying to say is a minority group is one group which is numerically smaller than the majority group.
Into a
and they have to be protected at all costs.
Why are we putting violence into a
This is what I'd like to point out.